What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Hope your vibes are immaculate today. I'm AG, your host, owner, CEO, director, manager, and all that. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you all for listening. And if you haven't heard by now, the Mavericks fall in Game 5 to the Golden State Warriors, 120 to 110. At Golden State, game 5, man. The Mavs needed this one to stay alive, and they weren't able to come out and get eliminated and get taken out by the Warriors, who now are the favorite. Depending on it doesn't matter whoever they play coming out of the East, they are the prohibited favorite. So, I'm going to definitely, if you're listening to this pod and you're wanting to get listen to someone be pissed off and all that type of stuff, that's not this pod. This pod is always half glass full, optimistic side. Even though I do point out the realistic flaws, and I am realistic in that way, but we always try to say on the positives, seeing the silver lining in these things, because there's a lot to see in this team that wasn't expected to make this far. Basically, point simple, if you would have said at the beginning of the season, if you would have said halfway, if you would have said at the end of, if you would have said January 1st, that we would be in the in Western Conference, we would lose in 5 games in the Western Conference Finals, I think all Mavs fans would agree and say, yes, sign us up. Agree, like we'll take it. And, man, what an amazing year. And I'm not going to do the whole season in review today. Definitely going to let this decompress and let all my thoughts gather. And, we'll get all that together. We're just going to focus on tonight, man. And we'll just stay positive with it. Because, again, we weren't picked to make it this far. We get past the Utah Jazz. And then we get past the Phoenix Suns. Both underdog series that... both of them, nobody thought we could make it past those teams. And here we are against the Warriors. And we're just seeing, honestly, I feel it reminds me of when Jordan was going against those, like, Pistons teams and the Celtics teams, like, just, those juggernaut, the big-time teams at the time. And really, for, like, this generation, for Luka, that would be, like, the Warriors. Because they're the winners. They're getting all the chips and stuff. And, kind of the juggernaut, and this is who Luka basically has to get past now in the West, essentially going forward. Essentially, we're going to probably see him. I'm sure I hope this isn't our first time. I always want to play the best to beat the best. So people can't say shit. That's why that 2011 championship is so dear to all Mavs fans' heart, because we really went through the gauntlet and passed it all and, won that, and nobody could take that away or say anything about that. And this team honestly has that same type of vibes where, like, they got so far where you can't say anything. Yeah, we lost to the Warriors in 5 games, but, dude, like, we had a great year and a fabulous, amazing postseason run for, a team that was doubted not to win really anything. This whole postseason. So, it's awesome to see this game. Man, what a sucky game to kind of like just review, because basically Mavs go down. Story of the game: Mavs go down, and we get back into it. That's the story of the game, man. Wrote that down. The first quarter, it's true, and the third quarter we had to run. And then in the fourth quarter, another run. So that's basically the game of the quarter. Just didn't have enough. Couldn't put enough stops together. Plain and simple. And we can only play basically 5 guys that we really trust in. I guess 6 and count Spencer too. But our Jalen, Reggie, Dodo, Luka. And then you got Maxey and Spencer are the guys that we really can only trust. Dwight's in there to at least make some hustle plays, but you can't really you can't do, in a sense, you can't trust him because he can't do what normal centers are. You're asking a normal center to do. He's undersized in that aspect, because of course we get out rebounded, but man, like the rebounds today were crucial. And Oh, and finishing my thought on the 5 guys, like, those are main guys on the court tonight, and they just look gassed. To be honest, in the second half, like that third quarter run was like that big push run for us to get back in, and in the fourth, it was like we wasted a lot of our energy, or not wasted, but used a lot of our energy, and now we're just kind of running on fumes, trying to get hopefully some of these threes we throw go in, and we can kind of catch some momentum off that, and they weren't falling. And going back to the other point with the rebounds, yeah, we'd score, go down, guard for however long, down the shot clock, whatever. They put up a shot, make them miss, and they give up an offensive board, man. It seemed like that was the theme tonight. And wow, the rebound battle, usually we want to keep it close. We know we're not going to win with the type of players we have. But we want to try to keep it close and gang rebound and stuff. And, man, we just were not getting them. It was 51-34, the rebounding battle. They had 51 rebounds. We only had 34. So offensive boards are the big key. Offensive rebounds, they had 14 offensive rebounds, guys. Like, that's terrible. We only had 6. But 14 offensive rebounds, that's not good. That means... and a lot of them, if you're watching, it was so frustrating. It wasn't. It was like we were trying to gang rebound. We just weren't. I don't know. Tonight, it just seemed like the Mavs were gassed. They didn't have enough left in the tank, for this series. And we just let a team. They basically have a real kind of center and guys that really can attack the boards, and they were able to take advantage, especially on the offensive boards, which killed us. Turnovers were fine. I know their assists were high. They had 36 assists because they were just hitting everything. They were 51% from the field, 38 from the three. We were 40% from the three. So that's pretty good. But man, yeah, they were killer. And going through the first half, first quarter was somewhat close. Again, the Mavs went down early. Kind of come back. Luka only 6 points. Second quarter, Luka doesn't score at all. Spencer, luckily, by halftime, has 17, which helped us keep us in it in the second quarter before them breaking away a big lead on us, even though they were at the time and leading big. I think their biggest lead at halftime was I have it right here. Biggest lead at halftime was 21. So yeah, they were on it, and we just couldn't score in the paint. We were getting to the rim, just couldn't finish drives. That was one. Another big thing, of which I'm sure a lot of people are talking about, was Luka and a lot of guys, but mainly Luka getting hacked all game. And not just saying that because people say he's flopping or whatnot. No, he was legit getting. If you're watching this game, you could tell that the station, that TNT, was careful of what replays they show because they know they can only show so many. Because they went back and showed every replay of Luka going, looking like he's flopping. They go back and show it. He's getting hit on the wrist and the arm. They're slapping him on the shoulder. Like, no calls, man. So Luka was definitely, getting frustrated with that, which that goes into another thing. His body language has to be better, which was pointed out to me, which is true. I've seen that too. He gets frustrated, he gets out of his zone, and he's got to know that, which again, he's 23, he's still learning, but he's got to know now, hopefully he looks back on this, and he's got to be a better leader in a sense there. Even though things aren't going your way, maybe the calls, you still have to be the one, like, looking like you're in charge, like you're, like, fuck these refs, like, fuck these calls, who cares, like, we're going to still attack them, I'm going to still go after them, we're still going to win this game. Like, it seemed like once he gets frustrated, he kind of like, oh, whatever, and like, I don't say he gives up, but it's just definitely a different vibe from him where it's not the same whenever he's picked up, and this team really needs his energy to get picked up because, man, everybody was just gassed tonight. You could just tell Reggie and Dodo were definitely just tired down. I mean, and even Jalen Brunson. I mean, all these guys are playing major minutes because, we're on short rotations. And they just looked gassed tonight. It was one of those games where they just showed it. They just didn't have it, and especially in the second half, they were trying to make those comebacks and stuff. The fourth quarter, specifically, they just looked gassed, and just kind of sucked as a Mavs fan because it's like, damn, we got so close to catching up, and he just could not. catch up, especially like there in the third quarter is the best run. We finished the third quarter like on a 15-2 run in the quarter, 94-84, within 10 after they were up by I think by 25 the most in the third quarter. And Mavs cut it all the way down, and it was awesome, and it was really cool to see the Mavs, put up this fight. And then I think that was just it. That was our last fumes in the fourth quarter. We just couldn't get shots. Then we were getting shots to go down finally. It was we couldn't get string together stops, and they'd hit those ball busters, man. Especially Klay Thompson tonight was killer. Klay Thompson was killer tonight. What did he finish with? He finished with like 32. Yeah, he was like, instead of game 6, he was like, all right, we need to finish it. It was game 5 Klay instead of game 6 Klay tonight. Hit 8 threes. Really good game from him. And honestly, we left him kind of wide open on screens. Coming off the ball screens, guys weren't getting around the screen. The guards, whoever was guarding Klay, was not getting around the screen well enough. And then usually I just kept seeing Maxey was not putting his fucking hand up in his face to guard whenever Klay would come off those screens. And it was so obvious it could be a handoff shot because there's always someone, just knowing those guys playing, you're just playing pickup ball. When you play against good shooters, you can't just let them come off screens and just get a wide open shot. So you're going to let a professional, top shooter of all time, Klay Thompson, just come off and not even try to put a hand up, or nothing. The late contest, whenever he's already shot, and then they put their hand, no, dog, you should already know he's going to come off and put your hand up. Let him try to beat you off I'd rather see him, go and hesitate for he thinking he's going to come off the screen shooting a 3, and then Klay had to put the ball on the floor and drive past him. I'm okay with that. At least we're hey, we're guarding the 3. We're trying to make other things happen. But that wasn't the case tonight. And I kept seeing Maxey over and over not put his hand up, helping whenever, he was guarding, usually at that point guarding the Draymond, whoever the center was. And whenever Klay would come off, their motion screens off on the perimeter where he kind of get that flare, come off that screen, catch and shoot. The center, Maxey, was not hedging on that and putting his hand up to make sure, Klay doesn't get just a wide open look, because obviously the defender, whoever it was, Reggie or Dodo, was running from all the way around the other side of the court, chasing him the whole time. So of course he's going to be trailing behind him. So when you get screened, you got to help off on him and, let the rotations be on the backside. But he was staying on his man and not getting a hand up. And that was so frustrating to me to see. That was one of my gripes I have in there against our players. Besides, Jalen Brunson also not aggressive enough for me in this game. What did he finish with? Only 10 shots, 3 of 10, but those seem like first half stats. 10 points. Those are that's a first half stat for him. I wanted more, Jalen. We need more, especially in these closeout games. You got to be the aggressor, and maybe just he was running out of steam too. And that's what it is, man. But, not enough from him for me tonight. Other than that, let me just go through. Luka, big third quarter, really get us back in it. And that run right there, 28, finished with 28 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. Just wasn't enough. Didn't have a good shooting. I finished 10 of 28, 3 of 13 from the field. The first half was really bad. He had 6 points at halftime. Then finally goes on the third quarter's, scoring run, on our run, and scores a lot of points, and finally kind of gets his points looking like how they normally should be. Another big-time step-up was Spencer Dinwiddie. Did really good for us tonight off the bench. He was really carrying us. As I said, he had 17 in the first half, finished with 26, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, and 4 assists to go along with that, and 2 blocks, by the way. Only 1 turnover, 2. Really good game by him, even though he's a -2. Defensively, he's got to get a little bit better, which, again, I think that comes with the ACL, maybe getting back into swing. He's not, really, a good defender as well, but I feel like he's solid just because he's got a 6'6" frame, so he's solid. But you got to see more, better athleticism, or at least translate over to the defensive end. I think probably in his next year, coming off of ACL, gets stronger, gets his legs feeling better underneath him. I think that'll change for Spencer, but a good showing for him in this game. in a closeout. We needed him to step up, and he did. We needed one of him and Jalen, or both of them, to step up, but at least he did, and that was big. Maxey, didn't really do a whole lot. Did have 8 rebounds, 7 points, only took 2 threes. I think guys were a little bit too passive in this game. I know Reggie only took 4 threes. Like I thought, Dodo and Reggie only took 4 threes each. We need those guys shooting more than over 5 threes for sure, and they only got 4 attempts each. So that shows what kind of game this, it was going for us. And yeah, man, there's not enough, nothing else to mention really off the bench. They just went straight, Kleba and Spencer off the bench, and a little bit more Frank Ntilikina instead of Bertans tonight. And that's pretty much it. That's all. Bertans got 4 minutes, but that was it. Hit a 3. Yeah, man, I'm trying to think if anything else about this game. There's nothing left. Like I can. Oh, my bad. Wrong thing I pulled up. But yeah, we didn't get to the paint as well as we should have. It was like guys were searching for calls, and we got to play through. We got to know in big games you can't just, play the game searching for calls. You got to go after and be aggressive and attempt and attack. We just didn't do it. We didn't have it tonight. And unfortunately, we fall, guys. But, hey, honestly, this is okay, guys. I know it sucks. It's a real bummer right now. I know right now this is reaction right after literally I started this pod as soon as the buzzer sounds so I get the final score in. And, it's a fucking bummer. But I'm keeping it positive because, this is a great season. This isn't going to be my season review yet and, things moving forward. But this is, tonight, looking back at just what we've accomplished this season, taking to, going to the Western Conference Finals, and getting at least a win in the Western Conference Finals, against the Golden State Warriors will probably, in my opinion, probably be favored, and rightfully so. I would probably pick them to win. Probably not who I'd want to win, but that's who I'd pick if I had to put money on it or whatnot. It would be the Warriors. Just the way they're playing, and the Mavs team, we played a great. That's what I was gonna go into. That we played a great team. We shouldn't get so sad and down about it. We played a great team. This should show us how, good we have to be on top. Like if we want to be that championship team, to be the ones left standing, the ones on top. Like this Warriors team, they're showing us right. They just showed us hey man, this is what it takes. Y'all are good. Y'all had this little playoff run. That's cool and all, but you're in the Western Conference Finals trying to get to finals and get you a chip. That's kind of our territory. This is how it has to be done. So I think it was a good little wake up call. It was we got that experience we needed, kind of broke through that first round barrier that we needed. And so the team was like, hell yeah, now we know what it takes to win. And then boom, we won another series. So it's like, all right, we know now what it takes to win multiple series, even when we're not favored against a really good-ass team in the number one, essentially the number one team in the NBA, especially standings-wise. So I'm trying to think of wins. But we beat them. And going to the Western Conference Finals, that's unbelievable for this Mavs squad. And does great thing. I keep saying, I noticed that. I'm sorry, guys, if I say a lot. I'm going to try and cut that shit out. I promise. I'm usually better than that, but when I'm doing these reaction pods, I'm always trying to think off the top of new things. But I just did it again. Oh, my gosh. I'm just going to keep continuing. But the Mavs just didn't, it's okay to lose. What I'm saying is it's okay to lose against this Golden State Warriors team. They are a great team. It's a team we can learn from. All their movement, it all means something. Having everybody play together, it means something. It's showing that we're at least on the right path too. But it showed now going against this team and especially losing against them, it's showing us, okay, now we know what it takes. We got a couple of notches to go before we could take the top. But at least we know we are in the right path. We are going the right direction. We are doing things right. Shout out to Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd on this, man. This year did an amazing job. Again, this ain't the season review, but that just want to give them a shout out because that's their vision has come together at least in this first season, and I'm excited. This is an exciting offseason, guys. So I hope y'all are tuning in because I'm gonna have definitely more pods for this off season, more shows still going on. Not gonna stop even though the game stopped. I'm gonna go ahead and do some reviews. We're gonna talk about different teams, other NBA basketball teams in general. Have more guests. Talk about different the off-season agendas. What different they got the draft coming up, and as a Mavs fan, y'all should be excited. We have a draft pick, which a lot of people are kind of covering that, but I think that could be kind of trade bait, to be honest. Like we could use it. Maybe that guys are eyeing some guys that they want, but honestly, to me, I think that might be some trade bait. I don't know if we're gonna get to use that bait. It's just my opinion, but we'll see what things come. I'm not gonna get too far ahead, but yes, I will have more pods, and this is exciting because got so many off-season things. We're gonna hopefully re-sign Brunson, but then how are we gonna reconstruct? How is Nico gonna reconstruct this whole roster now, knowing what we just went through? Which hopefully we can get a good solid big man. Not saying we have to go out and get a Rudy Gobert, which of course I don't think anybody would really want on our team. Well, some do, but I don't think obviously wouldn't be a great fit. Due to what he just did in the playoffs, but I think going out and getting a serviceable, really solid big man that we can have, that would have really helped us getting some of these crucial offensive rebounds we were missing, which, just irks to say again. But yeah, those offensive were just boards in general. But yeah, those keeping these guys off offensive boards and having a big man to do so. And maybe just an extra body on the wing or something like that to help, spare some minutes for these guys would really come in key, which don't get anything. But, man, what if Josh Green was Sadiq Bey? And, we would definitely have the rotations there. And, imagine this team with Sadiq Bey. All right, never mind. Going into fantasy land now, Austin. But, yeah, great stuff. Great stuff by the Mavs this season. I'm not sad. They fought hard in this game. I'm definitely glad we didn't get fucking blown out by 30. They showed they fought hard. At least we went out fighting. That's what I wanted to see. At least as long as we went out fighting, that's all I'm happy with. And, that's pretty much it, guys. Looking at the rest of the box score, nothing else sticks out. We got 25 free throw attempts. So. Man, we were. I thought we were gonna come back in this one, guys. I really did. I thought we were gonna jump on them from the get go, but they did to us, and we just can never catch. But once they get that lead, it's so hard. It's I've heard it before. It's like their 10-point leads feel like 20-point leads, and then whenever we have a 10-point lead, it feels like a 2-point lead. It's so crazy, and that's that's just the greatness of their team of really the players they have. Curry and Clay can just light up, especially if you give them open threes. They're gonna make you pay. Then you have good passers like or a good passer and kind of like a I guess quarterback for their team, Draymond. Just facilitating that ball around, going with their whole flow of motion offense of just moving the ball around. And, they just got obviously great talent. Andrew Wiggins, top draft pick. And, these guys come in, Poole, great find for them. Go against a great team, and now we know what it takes. I'm glad the Mavs finished strong. I don't have anything else to say, so I'm just going to be on this pod. Y'all going to be like, what the fuck? He didn't even talk about anything at the end. Before I cut it in, great third quarter by the Mavs, though, but just could not finish it off. And hopefully this is just a season to build on, man. We should all be proud. Still rep your gear. If people are like, why are you wearing that? Be like, fuck you. We made it far. No one thought we were going to be here. Screw you, pal. Just kidding. You don't have to say that. Don't say that. Don't get in trouble unless you want to get into a fight, maybe, and then go for it. But, go Mavs. MFFL. For sure. Can't wait for next season. Exciting offseason to look forward to. Hope y'all, check it out. This has been a great, awesome first season, guys. I started this podcast this year. I've been wanting to do this for so long. And finally, this year I was finally, man, fuck it. I watch every game and, do this shit on my own, basically. So I might as well go ahead and put this in, podcast form and put it out there for y'all. And, of course, I'm going to get better. I want to go, do more things with this pod, because this is something that, has my passion and interest. And this is awesome. I never thought, starting the pod in January, especially when the Mavs were just kind of barely, not even really doing, so well. I think when I started, might have still been under 500. I'm not even sure what the record was when I first started, but we were still, not on the good side. And things were maybe just now turning around, and it's awesome to see how, just to follow this team, especially doing this pod, and all the listeners along the way that have picked up and started listening. I really appreciate all of y'all. That's awesome, especially seeing that, it was different countries that were listening. That's so awesome. So many of y'all listening. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I promise I'm going to get better. More content, better content, and it's gonna be robbing. It's gonna be zoppity, guys. It's gonna be hopping, and I really appreciate everybody for listening. Let me just me express myself on here about my favorite team, my hometown team, and y'all giving the love, so y'all showing the love, so I'm just trying to show love right back, and appreciate all of y'all for listening. So yeah, man, the Mavs Rundown is free on YouTube again, and along with Spotify and the Anchor app. Hopefully soon I'll have it all on all the different shit, iTunes and all that. So but yeah, and the Mavs Rundown is also on Twitter at Mavs_Rundown. Go and follow if you want. And guys, I'm AG. Thank you for listening. Keep your heads up, guys. This is a great season. No matter if we lost to the Warriors in however many games, this is awesome. Western Conference Finals. No one thought we'd be here. Awesome feeling. We should all see the silver lining and be happy. This was an awesome season. Keep your heads up, guys. And remember, cool heads prevail. And I'll see y'all next time for sure on the Mavs Rundown.